Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome for this continuous discussion on Gita Gyan. So today we're going to cover chapter 16. So this is an evening program on 9th January 2025. Okay, it's a continuous program. So today is 16 and tomorrow is Ekadasi. Ekadasi is very auspicious day to study Bhagavad Gita. So I plan to do 2 classes tomorrow. So tomorrow morning we do chapter 17. And after that evening, we do chapter 18. All right. So if you are, because I believe that some of you are working, all right, like Dasarathan, you're working in the morning. So this is an opportunity for you to come and join in the evening. All right. Chapter 18 is very auspicious. I think you all have gone through that. So we're going to discuss that again. Okay. So before any further ado, so let's do our invocation prayer. So we pray to our spiritual master and all the preceptors, the former acharyas, the past acharyas for their blessings, all right? With that blessing so that we can master and grasp the studies of Bhagavad Gita. So today we're going to cover chapter 16, a beautiful topic, a topic on divine and demoniac nature. So let's do invocation prayer. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobistam Stapidam Yena Bhutali Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swa Parantikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamlam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Shah Sri Rupam Sagar Jadam Shahagana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savaduta Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhan Vidam Cha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimadi Jayapataka Swami Niti Namini Namacharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradaine Gaurakada Damadaya Nagaragrama Tarini Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimadi Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasacha Deshatarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Daitai Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnanadaine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryo Jwala Premadya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namustute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Viruddha Pasidanta Dvanta Harine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambara Sambodhe Padambujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Sarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gauravir Bhavabhumi Stumni Desa Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarubhama Sri Jagannatayate Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhe Vacha Patitanam Pavinebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Om Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratasya Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhakta Avadaram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavani Suri Vrishabhanustate Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shiva Shari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udiraye Nasta Prayesu Abhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shlokya Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Hari Om Tat Sat. So, welcome. So Chiang Prabhu, also welcome. Chaitanya Dayadas. Okay. So today we're going to continue our discussion on chapter 18 and chapter 16. Right. So now we're going to do the comparison, okay, on this divine and also the demoniac nature. Okay. So without further delay, let's do this program. All right. So ISKCON Malaysia probably presents in collaboration with the ISKCON Ipoh Bhakti Yoga Center. So we're going to discuss on this topic called chapter 16, the divine and also the demoniac nature. So let's take darshan from ISKCON Vrindavan, Sri Sri Nitai Gauranga, Sri Sri Krishna Balaram, Such a beautiful deity. Sri Sri Radha Krishna. Oh God. So beautiful. Okay. So today we dedicate our program to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And this program is inspired by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj, GBC, and also Spiritual Master. And I dedicate this program to my very beloved God brother, His Grace Annadi Jagannath Prabhu of Bengaluru, ISKCON Shishadipuram. He is the creator and the brainchild of the essence of Bhagavad Gita, Gita Gyan program worldwide. So let's look at today's Mahatmya or the glories. Gita Padam Cha Shravanam Ya Karoti Dine Dine Krattavo Vajime Dadya Kritas Tena Sadakshan. So now, what in Vaishnava Tantra Sara, it's mentioned here, great sacrifice such as Ashwamedha. Ashwamedha sacrifice is one of the most costly sacrifice, all right? It costs so much of money. In fact, after this, after the victory of these Pandavas, so Yudhishthira Maharaj, after he was enthroned as the emperor of the world, he wanted to do Ashwamedha Yagya. Okay, it's mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. So he wanted to do Ashwamedha Yagya, first of all, to because he was so worried that he has accumulated so much of sin. All right, he have done so much of sin, killing his own family members and everything. So just to please and to remove that sinful reaction. Of course, it was not sinful, but his conscience, right? So you want to do this Ashwamedha. So when you want to do this Ashwamedha Yagya, so he was hesitating because he don't have much fun. Okay, because if you want to do Ashwamedha Yagya, you must have mountain of gold and hundreds and thousands of cows to give away as charity, right? So this is a very costly. And this Ashwamedha Yagya is not recommended in Kali Yuga. Okay, the last was done during the Dwapara Yuga by the Pandavas. Because this Ashwamedha Yagya, it has been done, you must have a very capable Brahmana. And of course, you must give lots of remuneration. So, okay, great sacrifice such as Ashwamedha along with their remuneration. Okay, all these benefit of this are naturally achieved by one who daily hears and recites the Gita. If a person who daily hears or recites or studies the Bhagavad Gita is considered that he is performing Ashwamedha Yagya. Can you imagine such a huge Yagya you achieve simply by studying the Bhagavad Gita? So let's look at this understanding the Gita. So when Sanatan Goswami asked Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, okay, when Sanatan Goswami asked Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu about Swarupa. Swarupa means Swarupa of every living being. That means Swarupa means the original position, right? So he is asking about the Swarupa of every living being. The Lord replied that the Swarupa, okay, the Swarupa is also known as the constitutional position or the original position of the living being is rendering of service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that is actually the, what's happening? Okay, that is actually the original Swarupa. So the Swarupa means, rendering service to the Supreme Personality. If we analyze this statement, of Lord Chaitanya, we can easily see that every living being is constantly engaged in rendering service, okay, to another living being. Of course, we are always serving, okay, like Dasarathan, you are a teacher, so you are serving the student, okay. So like that, so we are rendering service to other living being. A living being serves another living being in various capacity. By doing so, the living entity enjoys life. The lower animals serve human being as servant, serve their master. Thus, A serves B, B serves C, and C serves D master, and so on. Under these circumstances, we can see that one friend serves another friend, the mother serves the son, the wife serves the husband serves the wife, and so on. If we go on searching in this spirit, we will see that there is no exception. There's no exception in the society of living being to the activity of service. Okay, everyone is serving someone. The politician presents his manifesto to the public to convince them about his capacity for service. The voters therefore give the politician their valuable votes, thinking that he will render valuable service to the society. The shopkeeper serves the customer, and the artisan serves the capitalist, and the capitalist serves the family, and the family serves the state in terms of external capacity of the eternal living being. In this way, we can see that no living being is exempt from rendering service to other living being. And therefore, we can safely conclude that service of the constant companion of living. That means we can say that service is the constant companion of living being. Okay, service is a constant companion of living being, and that is rendering of service is the eternal. So that means the rendering of the service is the eternal religion of all living being. All right, so we all have to go on serving others. All right, so with that thought, let's start our program today. So today we're going to discuss on chapter 16, the divine and also the demoniac nature. Okay, now let's look at 16, 1 to 3. Okay, text 1 to text 3. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Abhayang Sattva Shangshuddhir Jnana Yoga Vyavastitihi Danang Damascha Yagnascha Swadhyayastapa Arjavam Ahimsa Satyam Akrodas Tyaga Shantir Apaishunam Daya Bhute Svaloluptvam Mardavam Hir Achapalam Teja Shama Driti Shaucham Adroha Nati Manita Pavanti Sampadang Daivim Abhijatasya Bharata. So now let's look at this word by word. So Abhayam. Bhayam means fear. When you put a is opposite. Abhayam. Okay. Like Shaucham. Shaucham means pure or suchi, right? So Shaucham is pure. When you put a in front is opposite of the purity. Ashaucham. So now when you see the word here, Bhayam. So Bhayam means, we know, even in Tamil, we call Bhayam means fear, scared, right? Bhayam. But when you put a in front, Abhayam, that means fearless. Okay, Bhayam. So then Sattva Shangshuddhir. Sattva means, Shangshuddhir means purifications of one's existence. Okay, purification of one's existence. So now next word that we see is Jnana. Jnana means what? Jnana means knowledge. Okay, in Tamil also we call Jnanam, right? Jnana means knowledge. And Jnana means knowledge. And yoga. What is yoga? Linking up with God. So Jnana yoga. That means linking up with God through Jnana, intelligent. Vyavistiti, in all situation. Dhanam. Dhanam means charity. Damaha. So Dhanam's charity. Damaha means controlling of the mind. Yagna. Yagna means performance of sacrifice. Swadhyaya. Swadhyayas. Swadhyaya means study of the Vedic literature. Tapa. Tapa means austerity. Arjavam means simplicity. Ahimsa. Okay, every one of us knows what is ahimsa, right? Non-violence. Satyam. Satyam means truthfulness. Akrodha. Krodha means anger. Akrodha means, when you put a in front, what it means? It is not anger. That means freedom from anger. Tyaga. Tyaga means renunciation. Tyagam, right? Shantir. Shantir means what? Tranquility or peace. Apaishunam. Aversion of fault finding. Apaishunam means you don't find fault on anyone. Then Daya. Daya means mercy. That's why Cheong Prabhu's name is Daya Chaitanya. Chaitanya Daya. So Chaitanya, who is very merciful, right? His name is, initiated name is that. So Daya. Daya means mercy. Bhutesu, towards all living. Bhuta. Bhuta means what they call the nature. Bhuteshva means the living entities. All right, towards all living entities. Aloluptvam. That means freedom from greed. Loluptvam means greed. Aloluptvam means freedom. Okay. Mardavam. Mardavam means gentleness. Hri. Hri means modesty. Achapalam. Achapalam means what? Achapalam. Achapalam means determination. Teja. Tejas means vigor. Shama. Shama means forgiveness. Dritti. Dritti means fortitude. Shaucham. All right. Shaucham means cleanliness or clean. Right. So as I said just now, when you put a shaucham means not clean. So when you put a, so it is called shaucham. Shaucham means cleanliness. Adroha. Adroho means freedom from envy. Droha. I mean drogam, right? Adroham. So freedom from envy. That means you are not envious. And ati manita. Okay, okay. Droha ati manita. Ati manita means expectation of honor. Okay, you're expecting honor. Bhavanti. All right, sampadam. Okay, so sampadam. What is this? Sampada daivim. Okay, daivi means is a transcendental nature. Abhichatasya is one is born. So Bharata means son of Bharata. So now let's look at this verse by verse. I mean the words. Okay, now the supreme personality of God is said. First is fearlessness. Okay, first is fearlessness. When we can be fearless, when we are very convinced of our protection. Once we are very, very convinced of that we are well protected by Krishna, by taking shelter at the holy name of the Krishna and also study of the Bhagavad Gita, naturally the person becomes fearless. All right, because so far you have already come up to chapter 16, and some of you are repeating this chapter. Not some, most of you are repeating this chapter. That means there's so many times that you have already paid and studied about this Bhagavad Gita. So what Krishna says, even a small effort in this thing will save you from the greatest type of danger, that you will never fall into animal kingdom or the hellish situation. Going to hellish planet is different thing, all right? Go to hell, get burned, get kicked, get whacked, then you come back. But to be born into animal family, all right? Because as I was explaining this morning, there are a total of 8.4 million species. Out of 8.4 million species, only 400,000 species are human varieties. And 8 million varieties are still fall under this animal and plant, all varieties, other varieties of living entity. So that means out of all the creation, only 5% are the one that given opportunity to go back home, back to Godhead. Because in animal life, we cannot practice bhakti, we cannot achieve freedom from all these things. All right. But now we have no fear. Okay, somehow or other we have no fear, because even which level that you have come to now, you are already on your way. That definitely you're going to take birth as a human being. If you don't make it to back home, back to Godhead in this very birth, you're definitely going to be born as a human being and you're going to continue your bhakti by his thought. So that is conviction. So this conviction comes through knowledge. So once we have enough knowledge, we have studied enough and all this, okay, this. So that is the fearlessness. So now we are fearless. Then second is purification of one existence. So how to purify ourselves? That's why we say we follow the 4 regulatory principles: no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit sex. So by doing that, we are purifying ourselves, all right? Because we are having more good good habits. So by getting rid of all the bad habits, so that means we are purifying our existence. Then second, the third thing is cultivation of spiritual knowledge. By studying the Bhagavad Gita, scrutinizingly, day and night, every day, carry the Bhagavad Gita with you, travel with it. So by doing that, you are cultivating the spiritual knowledge. And number 3 is the fourth one, 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth is charity. All right. Charity means what? Dhanam. Dhanam means charity. So what is the charity you should do? It's not the charity that you give food to the poor, or by giving some charity to the beggar. That's not the charity here is mentioned. So the charity here is the charitable things. The best charity you can do is giving Bhagavad Gita as a charity. Take a Bhagavad Gita, and distributing Bhagavad Gita is the topmost charitable thing that you can ever do. Because you are, see, a person who are hungry, okay, see, I'm hungry for so long, you are giving me food. Just one meal, I'm very happy and satisfied. But after a few hours later, I'm going to go back to hunger again. I have to wait for another charitable organization to come and feed me again, maybe after a few days or maybe after 1 week or what. So the food that we eat, immediately we give them. But when you can give them a Bhagavad Gita, you solve their problem. Because they understand, right? You solve their bigger, that's the biggest charity is to give the Sastra Dana. Sastra Dana is a topmost charity, all right? Then another thing is self-control. Self-control, when we can have self-control, when we are very steady in our mind. How we can be steady? By purifying our mind, by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and the conviction by studying the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna keep giving you conviction, keep convincing you, promising you, say that I will take care of you. So by that, so when you are all this, so that means you have become very sober and you become really self-control. That means you won't get agitated, right? Then performance of sacrifice. Okay, performance of sacrifice means what? Like chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. All right, Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is all considered sacrifice, because in Yuga Dharma, Tyaga, okay, Yakda, okay, in Yuga Dharma, in Kali Yuga Dharma, the performance of sacrifice is not lighting up the fire, not anything else. The Yuga Dharma is chanting the holy name. So when you chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day 16 rounds, you are performing the topmost sacrifice. Then study of the Vedas. Okay. So the question is, what is the difference? Cultivation of spiritual knowledge and study of the Vedas. What does that mean? So cultivation of spiritual knowledge means you are cultivating, you are learning and practicing. Then after that, you are studying the Vedas. So studying the Veda means you study Srimad Bhagavatam, study Bhagavad Gita. All right. So then austerity. Austerity means like tomorrow is what they call Ekadasi. So if tomorrow, if you think you can fast, because Vaikunta Ekadasi, of course, every Ekadasi is very auspicious. And Ekadasi day, what we can do, we can refrain ourselves from eating grains. All right. Refrain ourselves from eating grains. So what we should do is best if we can fast. Fast without water. Okay, patni, right? So that's the best way. But if you can't tolerate that, at least drink water. But if you still can't tolerate that, at least take fruits. Fruits or roots, like a potato. You can take the potato, boil it, smash it with some pepper and salt. It just satisfies your hunger. But what we do, we prevent ourselves from eating grains, eating rice, dal, or like dosa, idli, or we break that grain. All that we avoid for one day. So that is the austerity. And of course, another thing is, of course, waking up early in the morning and doing Mangalarati is also austerity. Then simplicity. Live a simple life. Simple living, high thinking. That means even though how much money you make and everything, you don't live a grandeur life, right? You just keep your life at a minimum, and maximum you utilize your intelligence in worshipping the Lord. Right? Then another thing is non-violence. Non-violence means where the violence starts from the food that we eat. All right. Every food, I say, like for instance, when we take animal-derived food like eggs, meat, fish, and all these things, all the food are produced produced in a very violent way. Right? It's produced in a violent way. Say, like for instance, the chicken has to be electrocuted to produce egg. And sometimes the chicken's beak, they put in a hot thing. And out of so much of it, they will start to lay eggs. Right? So you can also go and check it out, how the poultry, this thing they do in YouTube. And of course, all that animal that have been killed so mercilessly. So that means the food that we eat is all full of violence. All right. So when we want to practice non-violence, of course, eating meat or anything is not recommended. Then truthfulness. Truthfulness means what? When you can be very truthful, when you don't have any intention in your mind. That's why in chapter 3, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, just perform your duty. Don't expect any result. When you are expecting any result, you have to be very amicable. You have to be very amicable. You have to beat around the bush. And sometimes we have to talk in such a way that that it pleases people, right? For instance, say like for instance, I do a mistake and I try to cover it up because I have intention. Okay, I have to think. So I have to tell lies. I have to beat around the bush. So all that when we have intention. But when we practice Bhagavad Gita, like in chapter 3, Krishna says, don't expect any result, just perform your duty. And whatever result you get, offer it to Krishna. So when we have that kind of thing, we got nothing to hide. So we are very transparent. That's when the truthfulness will appear. Then after that, freedom from anger. Of course, when we have expectation is mother of all suffering. Attachment is the mother of all suffering. When we have attachment to something, we have expectation. First, we get attached. Then secondly, we have expectation. Say, I'm attached to my family, attached to my thing. So I have expectation. So when I have the expectation, when they don't fulfill that expectation, the anger arises. Right? So attachment is mother of all trouble in this world. Attached to the body, attached to the country, attached to the language, attached to this, attached to that. So that's the thing. So once we can detach from all this attachment, so that's when we can achieve the freedom from anger. Then after that, renunciation. Renunciation means what? As what we have studied in chapter 5, right? Chapter 5, chapter 6, chapter 5 or 7. Okay, what we have understood? Outwardly, we are just living like a normal person, right? Outwardly, that means I'm still going to work, I'm still doing my job, I still send my children to tuition, I still take care, I still go out, I earn money and everything. Outwardly, I'm performing my duty. But inwardly in my mind, I'm renounced. All right. So we don't show our renunciation by wearing saffron, by being a monk and everything. So outwardly, We are performing already, but inwardly in our mind, we are living a renounced life. So I'm just engaged everything just for the sake of Krishna, like that. Okay. So that's renunciation. Tranquility. Tranquility means you are steady. All right. You are steady. That means you don't get agitated. You don't get when people praise you, you don't get carried away. When people criticize you, you don't become agitated. So tranquility, that means you're very stable. All right. Then another thing is aversion for fault finding. That's the most terrible thing to do. Fault finding is the worst thing to do. All right. Because we must understand that we are all faulty. None of us are perfect because we are living in this conditioned world. So in this conditioned world, when we try to find fault, actually it's like it's terrible thing. And especially when you find fault to a devotee, that's called aparadha. Aparadha means it's a terrible offense. So when we do aparadha, even our devotion can be spoiled. So sometimes that's why we must understand when we go YouTube, when we watch in this what they call YouTube channel or anything that they're going to talk very bad, because of course everything there's enmity. Okay, there's so many people are envious of ISKCON. There's so many people envious of Hare Krishna. So there'll be some people be talking, oh, these Hare Krishna fellows are like that. Oh, I find some disturbing things from certain devotees. All that, better don't even read about it. When you see that, just avoid it. All right, because all these are people are fault finding, and when you're reading it, you are indirectly affected. All right, like Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada said, you can't even look at your back. You have so much of fault, and what right do you have to find fault on others? But when people find fault on you, you should be very happy. You know why? When people criticize you, actually they're taking your karma away, right? When they there's a percentage I remember. When they talk back about you, 10% of the karma. When they confront you, 100%. There's something like that. Right? So aversion of fault finding. That means we don't find any fault because we understand that in everybody's heart there is Krishna and he will take care. Then anything, compassion for all living entities. So you have been compassion for all living entities. Then freedom from covetousness. Covetousness means what? When you see people who are very successful, you become very envious. All right. For instance, I see suddenly, say example, who can I take example here? Right? Say like I see someone here who are very successful. Okay, like say Chong Prabhu, all right, Chaitanya Daya Prabhu. Yeah, say like he's very successful. He's a multi-millionaire. He drives a Mercedes and he lives in a huge house. And I feel so jealous. And I am looking for a way how to usurp his property. All right. It is quite common, especially among the brothers, when they see the elder brother who are very successful, the younger brother become very envious, and they look for a way how he can sapu the property. All right. And there's covetousness. All right. So freedom from that. Then gentleness. Or a devotee is always gentle. Gentle from the way they talk, the way they act and everything, they are very gentle. Modesty, that means simple. Steady determination. That means once they decided, they are very steady. Vaiga. Vaiga means they have so much of strength. They are practicing the strength. They are for the sake of purification. They are the first to forgive, forgiving, fortitude, cleanliness. All right, cleanliness is very important. So like devotees, we say that you have to bathe 3 times a day. Of course, when I go to work morning and I come back in the evening, how to bathe 3 times? So at least you have to bathe twice. Okay. So first thing in the morning, you wake up, you must bathe, and evening you have to bathe at least twice a day. All right. And secondly, you also bathe when you go to toilet. You bathe when you cut your hair. You bathe when you cut your fingernails. All right. All these things you have to keep your cleanliness very important. Then freedom from envy. All right. Freedom from envy. So being very envious. So when see people are successful, you become very envious. So freedom from that, and also from the passion for honor. So freedom from when people, whether they praise you or they criticize you, you don't care, or you do things expecting someone to praise you. Oh, you are doing a fantastic class, fantastic expectation is what thing. So these transcendental qualities of son of Bharata belong to godly men. So these are the characters that usually the devotees would own it, with endowed with divine nature. All right. So you all understand? So this is the 16.1. Okay. Now, then after that, okay, now let's look at this. Okay, Varna Ashram. Varna Ashram means in what ashram? Okay, whether we have Varna means Varna or Ashram. Ashram means like sannyasa. First, we start with brahmachari, student life, then married life, grahastha. Then after that, we have vanaprastha. Vanaprastha means the retired life. Sannyasa means the Swamiji. Okay, they won't take sannyasi. Right? So what are the qualities that these people should have? First of all, abhayam. Fearlessness must be there's a quality that sannyasi must have. They don't have anything. They renounce the whole world. They don't even think about tomorrow's meal. They don't even think about where they're going to stay tonight. All right. They just keep traveling from one place to one place and totally depending by the mercy of Krishna. So complete dependence on Lord's mercy. Purification, one existence, sannyasi. Strictly follow the rules and regulation. Cultivation of knowledge, also by sannyasi. Give knowledge to householders. Their job for sannyasi is to go to all the grahastha to train them up. Charity. Who should do the charity? The grahastha or the married people have to do the charity because that is the mode of goodness. And self-control. Everyone have to have self-control, especially grahastha. Okay, especially grahastha, because grahastha is married. Even though they are married, they must make sure that they are under control, that they don't have this kind of sexual relationship uncontrollably. All right, they have to be self-controlled. Then sacrifice, grahastha have to perform Sankirtan Yagya. Vedic studies, brahmacharis, the brahmacharis students, they are always engage their mind in study the Vedic literature. So austerity, everyone have to follow. Simplicity, everyone. Non-violence, everyone. Truthfulness, everybody has to follow. Freedom from anger, everyone. Renunciation, everyone. So that means what we call Yukta Vairagya. Yukta Vairagya means use things properly in Krishna service. Oh, that means I renounce, so I just, since all these are material, so I don't want car, we cannot say that, right? We need car, we need handphone, we need to have social media and all these things. So what we do? We utilize it for the service of the Lord. Tranquility, everyone, peaceful and equipoised, right? Because that means they are not agitated. Everybody have to follow. Aversion to fault finding, everyone. Compassion for all living entities, everyone. Freedom from covetousness, that means greedy. That means they are very greedy, covetous, greedy. Charity and okay, everyone have to follow. Gentleness, everyone. Modesty, everyone. Steady determination, right? So not agitated or frustrated in this effort regardless of failure. Imagine when you can practice this. Even when you practice bhakti, you can be very successful in your material life. Because in material life, we are not going to get agitated or frustrated in our effort. Vaiga. Vaiga means the strength. Kshatriya, able to give protection to the people in need. Forgiveness, everyone have to follow. Fortitude, all. Mental and emotional strength when facing difficulty situation, all right? Cleanliness, everybody. So internal, external, all right, in their dealing. Freedom from envy, everybody, not resentful to others. Freedom from passion for honor, everyone have to follow. All right, now let's look at 16.4. In 16.4, let's see what Krishna says here. Dambo darpo bimanascha krodha parusham evacha anyanam cha bijatasya partha sampadam asurim. So dambo, what is dambo means? Dambaha means pride. Darpa, dambo or damba is called pride. Darpo means arrogance. So pride, arrogance. Abhimana. See, when you see the apostrophe here, that means there's a silent A there. So how are we going to, when we take out this word, we call abhimana. But when we combine, we put apostrophe. So darpo bhimanas. So the A becomes silent. So abhimanas means what? Abhimana means conceit. That means planning to cheat, conceit, right? Krodha. Okay, you all understand what is krodha, right? Krodha means anger. Okay, we call kobam, kadupu, verupu, and all this in Tamil. But krodha means uncontrolled anger. The anger that kills, krodha. Okay. Parushyam. Parushyam means what? Harshness. You know, they are very harsh in dealing. Especially when you see people are very rich, they can have all these qualities. All right, they are very harsh. They don't care. You know, they just simply like, you know, I don't want to mention, but you should know. Harsh. They are very harsh people. Then, jnanam. Jnanam means knowledge. Anjnanam means ignorance. Jnanam means knowledge. When you put a in front, that means opposite of knowledge is ignorance. Anjnanam. Then, okay. So, Chabijatasya Partha Sampadam Asuri. Okay, Partha Sampada Asuri. This is the quality of Asura. Asura means the demoniac nature. So now let's look at the translation. Those pride, arrogance, conceit, anger, harshness, and ignorance. That means first is pride, number 1. Number 2 is arrogant. Number 3 is conceit. Number 4 is anger. Number 5 is harshness. And number 6. These 6 qualities belong to those of demonic nature, O son of Pritha. So these are the qualities belong to those who are demonic nature. Okay. But before I go on, I just want to give you a little reminder. When we're going to discuss these don't think of anyone. All right, because we are studying this for our own purification, because we have to make sure that we don't have all these qualities. Even we have, we try to rectify it. How are you going to do it? Just get a book. Yeah, just kept the book here. For where is it? So just get a book and write your journal every day. On this day, so just write, okay, on this day, that means on the 9th of January, okay, today I showed off to a friend. That means I showed pride. So that means without you knowing, there's a pride in your subconscious mind that the prevail. So you write down everything. So write down everything. So what you have done today, what are the consequences you've done today? And try to refer to Bhagavad Gita. Oh, today I was very pride, I showed off to person. And someone asked a question, I just told him off. That means I was arrogant, right? And somebody said something about me and I became very angry, krodha, right? Then someone come and park the car in front of me. I got so angry. I honked at the floor and the floor came and I shouted at the floor, your father's road, your grandfather's road. What the hell are you thinking of yourself? That means I should harshness. So all this activity, what you have done, you write it down. After you write it down, so that means oh, these are the things that you have. That means you are still having some demonic quality. So based on Bhagavad Gita, next day, try to rectify it. When people come and tell, oh, I heard that you did very well. Well, okay. Because you know already, oh, yesterday, I know I was pride. So today, make sure I don't have that. So consciously, we start to rectify ourselves. That's why writing a journal is very important. Writing a journal is not writing a diary. So your activity, like your logbook, your reporting, what you have done today, all right? Sometimes you have to report to your supervisor, your manager, your summary of your job you have done today. So summary of your day, what you have done on this day, whole day, you just summarize everything. Just write a journal. And that journal is not necessary people to watch and everything. It's just for your own sketch. So write down everything and try to reflect. Okay, based on Bhagavad Gita. So what are the things I have? So when next day, when you had the same kind of opportunity, that when people can become pride, you say, oh, that means consciously you're trying to rectify your pride. Okay, I cannot be pride. And suddenly some fellow come and suddenly one fellow park the car, double parking. So you just honk. And when the fellow comes, you just can say, you want to be harsh? Oh, yes, I know. Yesterday I was very harsh. Today I cannot be harsh. I said, why you did like that? People have to go, next time don't do it. Huh? So like that. So you try to be more gentle. So like that, you start to rectify. That's the first thing you're going to do. Secondly, again, I'm warning you. I'm not in the position of warning anyone, but I'm just giving you a suggestion. When we're going to discuss this, don't relate. Hey, this quality that fellow had, that quality, oh, this quality, oh, this fellow, I know someone, I know my cousin brother had that quality. Such a crazy guy. Yeah, correct. We are not going to refer on anyone because I'm telling you based on my own experience, right? Because I came from a business family and some of the qualities that some of my cousins has it. I start to think, okay, this quality, the flow heavy, this quality, the flow heavy. No, we are not trying to pinpoint or try to be like an inspector gadget. We are not trying to be inspector to go and find fault on others. Because finding fault, it is also not a good quality. We have studied just now, 16, verse 1 to verse 3. All right, we studied that all these qualities is the quality of demoniac, and we are not going to practice that. Okay, so the reason that we are studying this thing, we're going to go through this discussion for our own purification. So we are not going to fall into this trap. Okay, you all understand? If you all understand, just put a thumbs up so I understand. I know that you all are following me what I'm saying. Because if you're going to okay, Kesav, you understood, very good. So that means when you are going to study this, you are trying to purify yourself, but not try to find fault on others or try to compare yourself with others. All right? Because all this pride, arrogance, conceit, anger, harshness, and ignorance is definitely a highway to hell. Look at 16.5. Daivi sampat vimokshaya nibandaya suri mata mashucha sampadang daivim abhijatosi pandava. So we see that Daivi Sampat. Daivi Sampat means what? Daivi means Devigam. In some way, we even call Devigam. That means transcendental. Sampat means asset. Vimokshaya, meant for liberation. Okay, Nibandaya. Nibandaya means bondage. Asuri means Asuri. Okay, Nibandaya, Asuri. What is the Asuri means? Asura, demoniac qualities. Okay, so Ma Sucha Sampadam Daivim. So Sucha Vari Sampadam, asset, Daivim, transcendental, Abhijata, born of. Okay, so now Krishna is giving assurance to Arjuna. He's telling, the transcendental qualities. Okay, what is the advantage of having these transcendental qualities? All right, now I want to do check and balance about myself. Okay, I want to check my balance. So you're writing down. So you are trying to create more good qualities. That means you're writing in your logbook. Okay, today I've been arrogant. So next week, tomorrow, I'm not going to be arrogant. All right, today I'm pride. Okay, so you just regret, oh my God, why did I show off to the fuller? It's very normal. Even I sometimes make that mistake. Not sometimes, I always make that mistake. But how I always rectify myself by always referring to my journal. Because these transcendental qualities, Krishna says, Daivi Sampad Vimokshaya. The transcendental qualities are conducive for liberation. If you think you want to have liberation, you must have these kind of qualities, right? So that means you have to always check and balance. That means your life is under control. But whereas the demonic qualities which is against all the things that we spoke, what happened? Makes for bondage. All right, it only creates bondage. It start to give you some kind of good feeling. When you boast, when you show your pride, you start to wow, some kind of good feeling. But that good feeling will bond you, will bind you, will not make your mind to think outside the box, right? So all this kind of binding effort. But Krishna then, after that, Krishna says, but do not worry, O son of Pandu. All right, telling Arjuna, you do not worry because you are born with the divine qualities, right? So he says the transcendental qualities are conducive for liberation, whereas the demonic qualities create for bondage. But you, Pandu, don't worry, Pandava. That means you, Arjuna, don't worry because you are born with divine qualities. Then 16.6. Shri Bhagavan Vacham Dvaubhuta Sargaloke Ismin Daiva Asura Evacha Daivo Vistarasha Prokta Asurang Partha Me Shrinu Asurang Partha Me Shrinu. So now Krishna says, Sri Bhagavan, Dvau. Dvau means what? Two. Dua. All right. In Malay also we call dua, right? Dua. So in Sanskrit, Dvau. Dvau means two. So two Bhuta Sargau. Bhuta Sargau means living beings. There's two kinds of living beings. In Lokesmin. That means Loke means in this world. Loka means in this world. Asmin. All right. Daiva. First is the two kind of people created in this. Dvau means two. Bhuta means living entity. Sargau, created in this loke, in this material world, in this world. That means first is Daiva. Daiva means the godly qualities. Deiviga gunangal, Daiva, right? Second is Asura. Asura means demoniac. Okay. Then, so now, Daivo Vistarata Prokta. Daivo Vistarata Prokta, divine Vistarata, great land, Prokta said. But now, Asurin Partha Me Shrinu. That means, let me talk about the demoniac nature. So that means the translation is, O son of Pritha, in this world there are two kinds of created being. One is called divine and the other we call demoniac. There's two people, right? And I have already explained to you at length. That means at length he have already explained about divine qualities. But now Krishna says, Asuram Partha Me Shrinu. Now hear from me. Hear from me of what? Of the demoniac. So now Krishna is going to explain what is the nature of demoniac. So once you have any of these qualities, make sure, again, I'm begging you and I'm telling you, get a logbook or a sketchbook, write down every day your summary of the day, what you have done, how you acted and everything, and try to rectify it consciously by the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. So what is 16.7? So what is that demoniac quality? Pravritim cha nivirtim cha jana na vidur asuraha na shaucham na pichacharo na satyam teshu vidyate. Pravritti means acting. Acting properly. Nivirti means not acting or improperly. All right. Jana means person. All right. Asura. Okay. Asura. Na shaucham. Na means no. Shaucham means what? Cleanliness. They don't have that cleanliness. And at the same time, napi chacharo. So what is napi chacharo? Achara. So napi achara. Achara means acharam. Acharam means good behavior. Don't have good behavior. And na satyam. Na means no. Satyam means truthfulness. That means they don't speak the truth. All right. At the same time, in them. So there's no truth in them. So now the demonic nature Krishna explaining 16.7 is those who are demoniac do not know what is to be done and what is not to be done. They don't know what is to be done and what is not to be done. They don't know. Neither cleanliness, nor proper behavior, nor truth is found in them. That means, first of all, they don't know what to do. They don't know what is a good thing. Sometimes they can be very harsh to the good people and they can be very nice to the bad people because they are not well trained. Other than that, they are no clean. You can't find them clean, right? Like some people, especially in Ipoh, there's one guy. He always don't take bath in the morning because he feel if he takes bath in the morning, the texture of his skin is spoiled. Such a weird character. You only bathe once a day. That's only in the evening. So that means these are the people who doesn't know. Okay, because you can't find cleanliness in them. At the same time, they don't behave properly, and you can't find any truth in them. They are not truthful. Right? Now, let's look at this 13 to 15. Verse 13 to 15, what Krishna says. Okay, 13 to 15, Krishna says, Idam adya maya labdam emang prapshe manoratam idam astidam appime bhavishyati punardanam asau maya hata shatrur anishe chaparan api ishvaroham ahang bogi siddhoham balavan sukhi adyobi janavan asmi konyosti sadrisho maya yakshe dasyami modishya ityanyana vimohita. Very nice verse. Right? Let's look at word to word translation, because when we see word to word, that's when we start to understand. Idam means now. Idam, in the yadam. Idam. So this, okay. Adya. Adya means today. Maya. Maya means by me. Labdam. Labdam means labangal. Labam. Okay. Gain. Imam. Imang. This. Prapshe. Prapshe means I shall gain. Manaratam. According to my desire. Manaratam means when we combine, we become Manoratam. When we combine the word, become Manoratam. So Manoratam means what? Manaha Ratam. That means Manoratam means according to my desire. Idam means here. All right. Asti means there. Idam. Right. Bhavishyanti Punar. Bhavish, it will increase in the future. And Dhanam, wealth. What will increase in the future? Punar Dhanam. The wealth will increase. Then Asav Maya Hata Shatrur. Okay, Asav. That Maya means me. Shatrur. Remember what is Shatrur means? I think we have spoke about it many times. Shatrur means enemy. Okay, Shatrur. Shatrur means enemy. All right, Shatru, enemy. Then what I do with the enemy? Hanishe. Hanishe means I shall kill. All right, Aparan, others. Then after that he says Ishvaroham. Aham means me. Ishvaro means I am the controller. I am the Lord. Ishvaroham. Aham bogi. Aham bogi means aham I am. And bogi means the enjoyer. That means I am the Lord. Ishvaroham means I am the Lord. Aham bogi means I am the enjoyer. You all following me? I am the enjoyer. Siddho. Ham. That means Siddho. Siddho means Siddha. I think we have discussed this morning. The Siddha. Siddha means what? Perfected people. So that means Siddha. That means I am. Siddho Ham means I am perfect. Okay. That means then Balawan. Then Siddho Ham, Balawan Sukhi. So Balawan means what? Balawan. Balasali. Bala means Balam. One means like Balasali. That means I am powerful. I am strong. Okay. Sukhi. Then after that, Sukhi means in Sanskrit, Sukhi, in Malay we call Sukha. Sukha means I am happy, right? Then Adyo Bijanavan. Adya. Adya means Adya. Adya means what? Wealthy. Abhijanavan. Abhijanavan means surrounded by aristocratic relatives. That means Abhijanavan. That means I am surrounded by all great people, all aristocrat relatives. Okay. Then Abhiyaso Konyosti Sadrsho Maya Yakshe Dashyami Modisya Anyana Vimohita. So that means Yakshe, I shall sacrifice. Dashyami, I shall give charity. Modishya means I shall rejoice. I will enjoy. All right. So, and these are the people called iti anyana. Jnana means knowledge. Anyana means ignorance. And vimohita means they are deluded. All right. So now let's look at this. thing. So again, I'm again warning. Not warning. I'm requesting, do not quote or do not think of anyone. Just think, what do you have this quality and how you're going to purify yourself from this bad quality. Don't think, oh, I know this person have that, I don't have this, okay? We are not referring to anyone. We are studying Bhagavad Gita for our own purification of our intelligence so that we become perfect and therefore we can go back home, back to Godhead, right? So that's the thing. Again, do not think of anyone who have this. Think whether you have this thing quality. If you have, try to rectify it. Right? Now let's look at this. The demonic person thinks, so much of wealth I have today. So much of wealth I have today. I will gain more. I will gain more according to my scheme. That means you're going to put a plan. Like sometimes when you see this kind of, like for instance, this guy, what do you call? The Sunway group, right? He's such an old man, like even Ananda Krishnan, right? He's such an old man, but still they all thought about creating more and more wealth. I got so much today and I want to gain more and more and more. That's why that's the job of capitalists. They cannot be satisfied with whatever they have. They want to create more and more. All right. So I have today and I gain more. All right. So much is mine now and it will increase in the future more and more. Then after that, he thinks he is my enemy and I have to kill him. All right. This is what sometimes when you look at sometimes business, there's a those days they straight away going to kill him. But now in modern situation, what we do, we talk about monopoly. All right, we're talking about monopolize. So how we monopoly by creating this thing called, what is the term we call? Patent. You know, when you create something, you create a patent. So once you patent the thing, no one can copy your invention. All right, no one can copy your invention so that you can sell at a very high price and everything. So another thing about businessmen, like I was a businessman before, I always think about how can I create monopoly? How can I bring one business that no one can come near me? Because I had all these qualities. Okay, how? So of course what I would do, okay, when I see someone arise near my business, okay, I'm getting a competition. So what I will do, I know the fellow is a newbie starting the business and I am a veteran in this business. So what I will do, certain things that I'm selling, I can give maybe 20-30% cheaper. All right, say for instance, I was dealing in all the heavy machinery spare parts, all the lorry parts. See, one particular engine can cost around, say, 12,000. All right, the market price. Maybe that new guy bought that engine for 11,000 and tried to sell at the market price at 12,000. You all follow me? So what I will do, I am thinking, wow, this guy is coming up. I want to kill him. I will make sure that he's out of the business. So what I will do, when people come, they come and ask, hey, how much you are selling this engine? I said, for you, I can give you 10,000. I can give you 9,000. So what happened? For the businessman, they don't care. Where I can get cheaper, I would like to go to him. But that guy is sitting there and try to just make one meager 1,000 ringgit profit sitting in. This thing, he have already invested 11,000 by that engine and want to make 1,000 profit. But end up he couldn't sell. What happened? He have taken a loan he have taken OD facility from the bank and to the business. End up he couldn't handle the business. He couldn't service the loan and everything. Eventually, he have to sell in losses and eventually the fellow go bankrupt and eventually be out of the business. That is what the modern day of killing them in business by creating monopoly. All right. So these are the things, of course. But here Krishna is mentioning he's my enemy and I have killed him. I will kill him. All right. So in the future, more and more enemies I also will kill. There's so many people come up in my competitor, I will kill them. Right? So I am the Lord. I am the Lord. I'm Ishvara. Ishvaroham. I'm a Lord of everything. I am the enjoyer. Aham Bogi. Can you see the word Aham Bogi? I am the enjoyer. I am perfect. That means Shiddoham. I am perfect. Siddhi. I'm perfect. I am Balavan. Balavan means what? I'm powerful. I'm very, very powerful. Balasali. And I am Sukhi. I am very happy. Can you see? I am the richest man. Adyo Bijanavan. Surrounded by aristocrat. Abhijanavan means I'm surrounded by aristocrat relatives. All my relatives are not ordinary kind of relatives. All the richest men in Ipoh, richest men in town, these kind of Datto, Tansri, all my relative and boasting. You know that this Tansri, yeah, he's my relative, all boasting here and there. All right. Then after that, there is none so powerful and happy as I am. All right. Asmi kosa sadrishyo maya. So that means I shall perform sacrifice. I will perform sacrifice. Where is the word? Abhijanavan asmi yonyum sti sadarshu maya yakshe dashyami. All right. I shall perform sacrifice. All right. I shall give some donation. I give some charity. Okay, I do some big sacrifice. Sometimes you go to this, there's one particular temple. I don't want to mention the name because some devotees went there, they start to find fault. All right. It was my big mistake of mentioning that. But there's one particular temple, especially in KL, all the rich and famous will be there. So once you go there, you see the way, wow, the arrogance and the way when they do that. You know that the people are doing obeyam. Why? When you see the ladies who come with all the golds in the world, if you just can catch hold the lady, I think can get at least 100,000 worth of gold. Right? And the man will be in the finest cloth and just showing off, right? So that means they say, I shall perform sacrifice for name and sake. I give some charity, and thus I shall rejoice. Okay, so in this way, such person are deluded by ignorance. I mean, this way, modistya iti anyana vimohita. I mean, these such of people are deluded, are in ignorance. So Krishna says in ignorance. So any questions so far? Do you have any questions? Because this is also you can apply for your self-development, right? Because here in this particular world, in this particular situation, mostly they have this kind of qualities. If you just be one nice person in this world, imagine the amount of peace of mind, the amount of success that you're going to get. Right? Someone thumbs up. Oh, Chong Prabhu. Okay. You understand. So anyone else? You got my idea? All right. Okay, someone's there. All right. So that's the thing. Okay. So these are the person. All right. So we understand this. Okay. Now let's move on. Then 19 and 20. Now Krishna is explaining. What will be the situation. All right. What is the situation of these kind of demonic people? Where do they end up? In this material world, they can live a fantastic, they can live a lustrous, fantastic life. But what is their destination? What is the destination of these people? All right. So what are the who usually have this kind of qualities? Usually you see the people who are very rich, very successful, like big tauke, tycoon, all day they usually have this kind of attitude. That's why they don't even want to associate with other normal people. They always associate among themselves. They always like to join that golf club. They remain in that club. They go to this kind of a high-end club, and they don't want to associate with some kind of other people because they find them as low class and all this. So they're just among themselves, right? But sometimes when we see them, we become very thinking, oh, how nice if I born into that family. How nice if I born into the Sultan of Johor family. How nice if I born as a grandson of what they call Tan Sri Ananda Krishnan, as a son or the grandson. How nice if I born as this what is a Tan Sri? Okay, whoever. Okay, that's Sunway. How nice if I born in that family. We always think about it. But now let's see what is their destination. All right, the destination is Tan Ahang Dvishata Kruran Shangshareshu Naradaman Shipamya Jashram Ashuban Ashureshve Shveva Yonishu Asurim Yonim Apanna Muda Janmani Janmani Mam Aprayaiva Kaunteya Tato Yantya Damang Gatim. So Tan Aham Dvishata. So Tam Aham Dvijata means, okay, those who are envious. Tan, that means those. Tan means Aham means I, envious. Kruran, Kruran means mischievous. Dvishata means envious. Kruran, Kruran means mischievous. Sangsareshu. So Sangsareshu means what? Okay, Sangsara Areshu. So Sangsara means it's a place of suffering. Areshu means what? Into the ocean of material existence. Okay. And what? Nara Adaman. So Nara Adaman means, so we break the word Nara Adaman. So there's two words. When we combine, we say Nara Adaman. So Nara Adaman means what? Nara Adaman. So Nara means human. Nara means human. Okay. The form of a human being we call Nara. All right. So that's why we call Nara Simha. Nara means half human, Simha half lion. Nara. Nara means human. Adaman means what? Adaman means lowest. So Nara Daman means lowest of mankind. Okay. And what Krishna said? Shipami. Shipami means I put them. I throw them. She Shipami. All right. I throw them. Ajashram. Ajashram means what? Forever. I throw them forever. Into when? Asubi. Asuban. Okay. Asuban. So Suban. Subha Karyangal. Subha. Subha means auspicious. Asubha means inauspicious. Are you all following me on this? If you don't understand, please raise your hand, ask question, because this is very, very important topic. Suban. Suban means auspicious. Suban means inauspicious. So Shapami, that means I put them, Ajasram, forever in inauspicious. Suban, inauspicious. Then Asuri, demoniac. Asuri, demoniac. And Eva, the word Eva means what? Certainly. Definitely, right? Certainly, Yonisu, into the womb of this demoniac nature. Then after that, the second verse, Asurim. Asurim, again, we understand Asurim means demoniac. Yonim means species. All right? Yoni means species. Yonishu means womb. Yoni means species. So demoniac species. Asurim Yonim, demonic species. Okay, Apana. Apana means gaining. Mutta. In Tamil, we call Muttal. Muttal means foolish. In Sanskrit, we call Mutta. Mutta. So when you see the D at the dot at the bottom, we're going to pronounce Ta. So it sounds like D and sounds like T. So Ta. So Mutta. So in Tamil, we call Mutta. Muttal. Right? Mutta. All right. Then Janmani. Okay. Why Krishna use this word twice? Janmani. Janman means birth, and Janmani also birth. So that means we call birth after birth. All right. So Mam means me. Apraya. Apratyaiva. Apratyaiva means without achieving. Without achieving. Tata, thereafter. Tauntia means Arjuna's name. Tata means thereafter. Yantya damang gatim. Yanti means go. Adamam. Adamang means condemned. So the person is condemned. Gatim, destination. So they go to the condemned destination. So now let's look at this. So what is that destination of all these kind of people? Those in the mode of demoniac. The Krishna says very nicely here. Of course, he says, those who are envious and mischievous. All right. So envious and mischievous is basically the qualities of a demon. All right. That's why they say that those who are envious, they will take a birth as a snake in next birth, because snake is very envious. All right. Before you try to save, the first still bite you. Right. So those who are envious, right, and mischievous. Okay. These are the people called lowest among men. They are lowest among men. If you have this kind of quality, when you start write down in your scrapbook, in your logbook, all right, in your what is that word? Logbook. What is the word I use? Scandal. What do you call? Your daily. I used to write what do you call? The word Krishna. Krishna. I'm forgetting things. Scrapbook. All right. Whatever the scrapbook. All right. Journal. Yes. Make your daily journal. All right. Write in your journal. Do you have any envious and mischievous? You have to be careful. All right. Because if you're envious and mischievous, Krishna says these are the lowest among men. These are the lowest among men. And what Krishna says, I perpetually cast them into the ocean of material existence. That means perpetually, I definitely will throw them into the ocean of material existence. That means they're going to suffer in this material existence. All right. How? In these various demoniac species of life. So that means what? Krishna didn't say, I will throw you into the hell and you live there forever. You could say, right? If that's everyone is scared of hell. Oh, I'm going to go to hell. So if I go to hell, they're going to burn me alive. They're going to fry me alive. They're going to throw me into that. They're going to whack me. They're going to cut me into pieces. That is not so scary. If it's that scary, Krishna should have used that word. I perpetually cast them into hell and he lives there forever. But Krishna didn't say that. What Krishna says, Tan aham dvishata kruran samsaresu naradaman. Naradama means the lowest among men. Shipami ajashram ashubhan. Ashubha means the most inauspicious. Demoniac. Yonishu means species. Yonishu means living entity, species. So what is this? Yonishu means a living entity. So that means he said, but I will throw these envious and mischievous people in who is the lowest among men, I definitely throw them into cast them. Cast them means what? Throw them hard. All right, cast a spell. Sometimes we say, right? Oh, I'm going to do some G Boomba. I'm going to do some magic. All right, I'm going to do this, what they call some magic, black magic upon someone. How we do? Okay, he casted the spell. Cast means what? Throw the spell, right? So sometimes cast that, sometimes we say, okay, I take the gold and cast it away. That means I throw, right? Throw upon people, we call cast, C-A-S-T, all right? So what Krishna, I purposely cast them, I throw them with anger. No, when you do a spell, when you do black magic, you cast a spell, means you just throw that magic in anger. So I throw them into the ocean of material existence, which is terrible. And which material existence Krishna is referring? Various demoniac species of life. So he throw you into the demonic species of life, right? So this kind of aborigine and all, this is all a demonic species. Then after that, what Krishna says, then Asurim Yonim Appanna, attaining repeated birth among that species. Asurim means among that species of demoniac, Asurim, right? You see the word Asurim Yonim Appanna, right? So that means Asurim Yonim, that means we throw into that kind of demoniac life. Then Krishna says, oh Kunti, son of Kunti, such a person can never approach me. So upon throwing them into this kind of species of life, among all repeated birth, that means you go around taking birth in this kind of species of life. Okay, you just go around taking from here to here to here. You're just going around in this animal kingdom, up and down, and go here and come down and go here and come down, just going on. So by doing that, all right, these people can never approach me. There's no way you can approach Krishna. Krishna says these people never come to me. Then after that, what Krishna says? Gradually, what happened? This is the most scary part. So gradually, right? Gradually, what will happen? They sink down to the most abominable type of existence. So gradually, they start to sink down into this abominable living life. So that means that from here, this kind, they simply sink down into this kind of abominable species, abominable existence, to born as an animal in these varieties of species. The two-legged, four-legged, reptile, elephant, the one lives in the ocean, right? 8 million species. They go transmigrating, even a beautiful bird. All these things considered abominable type of existence. Right? Are you all following me? Everyone is following me?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, great. Right. So now it's already 9 o'clock. Shall we just take a short break? Because it's going to be more. Okay.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah.
Because it's just going to be another 3 more verses. Right? Okay. Shall we continue or shall we just take a break? Short break.
Yeah, short break will be fine.
Is demonic included the human birth? Yes, the demonic species. Okay, now we'll answer that after a short break. Okay. Just take a short break. Just answer that. Is the demonic species included in human birth? Yes, we are talking about demonic species in human birth. Okay, the demonic species in human birth. All right, first we have demonic activity. All right, every human. Okay, now we see that sometimes we see the person who have all these demonic qualities. All right, so they have that quality. So once they have the demonic quality, they sit down. So what is that human birth with demonic? As example, like just now the photo that we saw. in Nicobar Island, Andaman Nicobar, there's one island that Indian government has banned. People cannot go in because the people there are hate hunters and they are not civilized. Whoever goes there, they'll eat them alive. All right, they kill them. So this is called the demoniac species among human beings, especially like aborigines. All right, sometimes we see not all aborigines are like that, but when you look at that in the deep jungle, right, like in Amazon and all these things, they hate hunters. They are very wild. All right, they are very wild. So that's the demoniac species. Then after that, first human being, then they go to the semi-human. Then after that, they go down into animalistic life, which is going to be very demoniac. Okay, Kesavan?
Okay, Prabhu, understand.
Okay, understand? All right. Okay. So if any question, please do not hesitate to ask. I love people asking questions. All right. So now that's why I said this is the example I mentioned. Is it recording? Okay, it's recording. All right. So this is what I meant, the demoniac species. All right. Then after the demoniac species in human form, then after they sit down. So among all the 400,000 species of 8.4 million species and 400,000 species of human being, there are also a very demoniac species, right? Okay. Now let's look at 21. Vidam naraka shedam. All right. Now Krishna is explaining what is the person who end up in hell. Vidam naraka shedam dwaram nashanam atmanaha kama krodas tata lobas tasmat eta trayang tyajet. So vidam. Three means three. Number three. Okay. Three types. Vidam. Okay. Vidam means kind. In Tamil also we call moonu vidangal. Moonu vidam, nalu vidam, anji vidam. Vidam means types, right? In Tamil also we use the word vidam. So narakasya. Naraka means naraka. Naraka means hell. Naraka. Okay. Idam. Idam means this hell. Dvaram. Dvaram means what? Gate. Okay. The gate. Say like for instance, human being is made of Navadvaram. Navadvaram means the human body got 9 gates. Do you all remember that? 9 gates, 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, 2 ears, 2 ear hole. All right. That's a 2 eyes is a hole, 2 ear hole, 2 nose hole, mouth, genital, and anus. All this total of 9. Dvaram. So dvaram means 9. So now he says dvaram means gate. Okay. Dvaram means gate. Nasanam. Nashanam. Nashanam means what? In Tamil also we use the word nasam, right? Nashama puch. Nasham means what? Destructive. Destruction. Destruction. Dvaram. The gate. Nashanam atmanaha. Of the self. Atmanaha means of the self, right? Kama. And what are the people? Kama. Kama means lust. Krodha means anger. Tata as well. Loba. Loba means greed. Okay. Kama, anger. Kama means lust. Krodha means anger. Loba means greed. Tasma, therefore, itat trayam tyajet. So the trayam means 3. Tyajet, 1 must give up. So what Krishna says, there are 3 gates leading to hell. Okay. 3 vidam naraka shedam. There are 3 gates leading to hell. And what is that? Leading 3 gates. 3 gates dwaram, right? 3 vidam naraka shedam dwaram. So 3 gates leading to this hell. And what is that? Kama, lust, anger, krodha, greed, loba. Then after that, kama, krodha, tata, tasmat etat trayam tyajit. That means Krishna says every sane man means what? The sane means the person who are sober and intelligent. Every sane man should give this up. They should give this up because for they lead to the degradation of the soul. All right. So what is the word? Degradation of soul. Dvaram nashanam atmanaha. Nashanam. That means he's going to destroy our soul. So that means he's going to create degradation of the soul. So the 3 gates leading to hell, lust, anger, and greed. Every sane man should give this up for they lead to degradation of the soul. So let's check and balance about ourselves. Do I have lust? Do I have greed? And do I have uncontrolled anger? So all these 3 things, we have to rectify it. All right. Now, in 23, Krishna says, Ya shastra vidim utsirjya vartate kamakarata nasa siddhim avapnoti na sukal na parangatim. So what it says here in 23, he says, okay, Ya shastra. Ya shastra means what? Ya means anyone who Sastra Vidim, or in Tamil we call Sastra Vidhi, the injunction of the Vedic literature or the regulation of the scripture. Utsrijya means giving up the Sastra Vidhi, the injunction of the Sastra, whoever. Okay, Ya means whoever. So, Vartate means remains. Kama Karata means acting whimsically. Kama Karata means acting whimsically in lust. Right? Na, never. Sahi, Siddhim. Siddhim again, we have understood, right? We have studied before. Siddhi means perfection. Right? Avapnoti, achieving. Na, never. Sukham. Sukham means happiness. Sukha, happiness, right? Na, never. Parang, the supreme. Gatim, perfection stage. So, Krishna says in 23, he who discard the scriptural injunction, and act according to his own whims, attain neither perfection, nor happiness, nor the supreme destination. Sometimes we see, a person born in a very religious tradition family, right? They follow the Shastra. Then after, when they go for some kind of modern education, because we know the modern education is a slaughterhouse. They are not teaching them good behavior. They are only creating demoniac society, right? Because even my children are going through the schools. I have seen them. Even though how much I try to bring them up in a spiritual way of life, once they come back, they still bring back some bad qualities, right? Such vulgar words like the F falling word. It become very common, right? And showing off the middle finger, it's very common. I was so surprised to see a standard 3 child pointing the middle finger to a standard 2 child. Can you imagine? When I was fetching my youngest girl, I saw that one girl is showing middle finger to another girl. So what kind of education are they creating now? Showing off the middle finger, and after that, speaking that F falling word, vulgar word, it's become very common, right? So what happened? Because the parents says, okay, we don't need to follow all these rules and regulations, the Shastras, because the Shastras are mythology, and the Vedas and all these are creating so much of limitation. In order to be successful, first thing what we need to do, we need to give up studying the Vedas, because the Vedas limit us. The Vedas ask us to be committed. The Vedas ask us to be religious. Nowadays, if you go out, when you say you are religious, people are looking at you, surprised you are religious. And sometimes when you go out and tell people you are a vegetarian, they all start, you'll be wondering why you are vegetarian. What is so big deal about vegetarian? Where do you get the protein? It becomes so surprising, right? It looks like we are aliens, right? So these are the people who discard somebody in the forefather. Say, like for instance, in my family, my grandfather, once he migrated from India, come to Malaysia, the first thing is gave up his orthodox thing. He became more blended. And because of that, my father was not a very religious person. He was more into atheists. He's very distinct. And my uncle migrated to England, New Zealand. And of course, they all eating beef at home. They cook beef and everything. So, and another uncle was a hippie. All right. He was always drugged and always in alcohol. He died in London. So, so it's all because of one person discarded. All right. So when I became spiritual, when I asked them question, they couldn't accept it. They said, this is what something that I followed during my childhood. And why are you following that? Now you're in Malaysia. You should act differently. I say, that's the thing. So that means he will discard. All right. They just throw away all this kind of scriptural injunction because you want to act modern. All right. So these are the people never attain perfection, will never achieve happiness, and definitely there's no supreme destination. Okay, like for instance, the 4 basic pillars of sin. First is gambling. Like you go to KTM, Huda, Toto, Magnum, or you go to this casino. Right? You dream something, you go to casino, you just start to gamble. All right, we have seen people who gamble in Genting Highland. They gamble until they lose everything. They jump from the mountain cliff. People commit suicide even, right? After they lose all their gambling. And of course, another thing is illicit sex. Illicit sex will spoil everything. All right, having a wife and having an extramarital sex. So illicit sex will never bring you far in life. What example? Ajamila. Even though he's such a great Brahmana boy who brought up so nicely, but when he start to saw that 2 low-born people who are having sex in the forest, in the woods, he start to saw that he got so attracted to that. because we can't expect this kind of act with a wife. Only the prostitute can act such a way. So when he started to saw that, he was so attracted. And because of that, he followed and he just forget about all his dharma. He went behind and he married a prostitute, lived in a brothel, and he started to perform all kind of sinful activity just to satisfy his prostitute wife. But of course, eventually, he named his son Narayana, and because he called upon Narayana, he was saved at the last moment, right? But of course, we can't take that. We can't take the risk, right? So the illicit sex is very powerful. It can just take you away from your dharma. Then another thing is meat eating. Meat eating. When we are performing so much of violence, how can we have mercy? How the nature can be merciful to a person who eats meat, right? Because we are merciless, right? We are just killing that animal just for the satisfaction of our tongue. You know, we are eating the carcass. We are eating the dead body, all right? We just take that animal who was so poor, who wants to live, wants to finish his quota in that animal body. We just take it, we just cut the throat, and we can kill them. We kill them just to satisfy our tongue. They die miserably. So meat eating, it is sin. And of course, intoxication, like drinking wine, alcohol. You know, sometimes when you see, because once upon a time, I was in this kind of lifestyle. You know, when I was a businessman, we used to go for party, right? Of course, I was a Hare Krishna devotee from 15. But when I became 23, 24, 25, 27, when I went into business, I took over the business, I start to pick up drinking. And I've seen it with my own eyes, right? Sometimes when the person drink these, they'll lose their sobriety. I have seen a great man who was so respectful man, very respected person. Once he's drunk, he's go around and hugging people, kissing people like a madman. People go crazy. I think if you have drank before, you have went for a party, you might have seen it, right? Sometimes when you go for yam sing, right? When you go for Chinese dinner, right? Usually, I remember when I went one of my best friend's wedding, the yam sing, drink, and everybody became crazy. All the person was so distinct. You know, one floor was falling on the floor and rolling around the floor. You know, the ladies and men all gone crazy. Intoxication. So these four things are the four pillars of hell, right? When there's an illicit sex, there'll be an abortion, right? And when the illicit sex, you go to the cabaret dancer, we start to see all the dance and all these kind of nonsense things, right? So these are the things are like an atom bomb. So what is atom bomb? When you see atom bomb drops, it evaporates the human. You know, we can even go and see that thing. What happened when they dropped the bomb in Hiroshima and Nagasaki? When the bomb dropped, everybody just disappeared. Disappear means what? What they call the thing is so hot, everybody become evaporated. You know, evaporated, they just disappeared. When they exploded, boom, because of the extreme heat, they just evaporate. Similarly, when we have all these kind of four bad habits, we become evaporate. We lose all that human form of life, and that's it, we are gone. It's like an atom bomb. Okay, you all follow? There's a question. Hare Krishna Prabhu, if a devotee leaves the material body, through which dwaram is the soul released? Okay, so like for instance, there is also a understanding devotee leaving the body. All right, they say that a person who leaves the body through the nose, through the mouth, through the ears, all right, the upper body, the person usually are going toward upper planet, but a person leaves the body through the lower, like anus. All right, sometimes you see when a person dies, when you go and see the body, they usually pass motion. That means the soul left through the anus, backside, right? So these are the people who go down to that hellish region and all these things. But for a devotee, it doesn't matter how the body, how leaves the body. All right, it doesn't matter. Okay, the devotee can leave the body in any way, because he is under the divine protection. Okay, they all this mentioned in Garuda Purana. What happens if you leave the body through the eyes open? What happens if the person leaves the body through the nose? What happens if the person leaves the body through the ear or through the mouth or through the anus or the genitals? All right, out of that 9 dwaram, the lower dwaram, people leave the body through the lower part of the body, they are usually destined to hellish region. All right, because I have seen a person who are extremely sinful also leaves the body through the mouth, leave the body through the ear. It doesn't matter how the person leaves the body, right? See, how the person going to leave the body, how the person going to die, it's a very mysterious thing. We don't know. But as long as we live, right, we have to perform this kind of sacrifice, Tyaga. We have to chant Hare Krishna daily and we have to read Bhagavad Gita daily. It doesn't matter how we're going to leave the body. Either we're going to leave the body through accident, because they say if through the accident, sometimes the person will become ghost, right? Because he have done so much of terrible karma. So yes, all the karma has to be checked at once. So he made a terrible accident, the body is torn to pieces and they die miserably. And sometimes they die through a horrible disease. It doesn't matter. A person needs to have a reason to leave the body. Either the body is destroyed by accident or the body become disease. Disease. So these are the reasons that a person needs to leave the body. But for a devotee, it doesn't matter how the person is going to leave the body. Because in whole Bhagavad Gita, Krishna never mentioned how you should leave the body. All right. Of course, in that one place, he says the person leaves the body in the morning. The person did. Okay, it's just an overall suggestion. But after that, Krishna said, "But my devotee do not need to worry. It doesn't matter how we're going to leave the body. Whether we leave the body whichever way, accident, disease, or whatever, because we are fearless, because we have already taken shelter of Krishna. Because Krishna says, I'll be the swift deliverer. So when we surrender to Krishna, he's a swift deliverer. He will deliver us from this kind of horrible, hellish situation. Even we don't make it. So okay, like of course, there's one chapter 10. Yeah, what I was about to tell. Right. I wanted to say something, I forgot it. Right. Anyway. So it doesn't matter how we're going to leave the body. So it says if we become, once we surrender to Krishna, we are under the protection of Daivi Prakriti. Daivi Prakriti means the divine nature. Right? We are under the protection. Then after that, in chapter 6, when you talk about meditation, right? In chapter 6, Dhyana Yoga, what Krishna says, after a person who failed in his attempt in Dhyana, what will happen? They will be born, they'll go to heaven and they enjoy life. All right? They go and live in the planet of the pious, okay, for 10,000 years. They have good life, and after that, they born into the family of rich and aristocrat. To go to heaven and to be born into rich and aristocrat family is a dangerous thing to do. All right? Because in Kali Yuga, it's mentioned that this Bhakti movement will only last for 10,000 years. After that, the full-blown Kali Yuga will start. By the time you go to heaven, you come back, you start to see full-blown Kali Yuga. And what you need to do, you go into the sinful life and you sit down into this animal kingdom. You down again. All right? That's the first thing. If a person perform Bhakti, all right, perform this, what they call this, penance. But another thing, then after that, Krishna said, but if a person is quite sincere, he will born into the family of pious. But after that, Krishna says, if a person who perform this sacrifice, perform this after so long, after a long practice, and if he fail, after a long practice, if he fail, it doesn't matter because he'll born into the family of righteous people, a family of a Brahmana devotee, where that birth is very rare. But we are not meditating. We are practicing bhakti. We are chanting Hare Krishna. We are studying Bhagavad Gita. If we don't make it, Krishna definitely will never send you to heaven. Krishna will definitely, because Krishna wants you back. As how much that we want Krishna, whether you have the desire of going back home, back to Godhead, Krishna wants you back very badly. Krishna has been throwing that the hook, the fisherman, right? See, when the of course I've never fished in my life, but I've seen, sometimes I've spoke to this, sometimes when you catch a big fish, how you should catch a big fish, when you're going to use that rod, the fish is very big, very powerful. How you cannot fight with the fish. So what they do, they will once the fish catch the bait, what they will do, they will pull, and the fish struggle and they let go. They let go the nylon. They let go the thing go. Then after that, they pull back. Then, and after that, they let go. They pull back. So the hook will be more and more deeper. So let go and pull back, let go and pull back until the fish becomes very tired. It doesn't fight back, and the flesh somehow or other pull and take the fish out. So in other words, Krishna, we have taken the bait of Krishna. So Krishna sometimes will let you go and enjoy. Then after they pull you back. You go and enjoy. Oh, you're still frustrated? Then he pull you back. No, I want to go. Okay, go and enjoy, then pull you back. Eventually, he'll take you back home, back to Godhead. Krishna wants that. If not, he won't be speaking Bhagavad Gita. He won't be sending Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He won't be sending Srila Prabhupada. He won't be creating this ISKCON movement. Why all this movement is started? Because Krishna wants us back very badly. He wants us back. Of course, now it's once we start our Sastra marathon, we will study. When we study Ishopanisha, when we study Nectar of Instruction, when we study Nectar of Devotion, you will understand all these things, right? You will understand. So he wants you back very badly. So once he wants you back very badly, definitely you don't want to send you to heaven, even you desire for heaven. All right, of course, you have given a choice. But of course, with maturity, once you become mature in devotional, when you study more and more, when you become really mature, Krishna said, okay, you really want to go to heaven? No, Krishna, I don't want heaven. Right? Like sometimes we devotees also pray that. If I were to be born again, let me born in a remote place of Vrindavan into the family of a Brahmana. Right? Because that's what same thing happened to Jada Bharat. Right? We have seen the story of Bharata, right? The king Bharat. He was so attracted, he renounced his kingdom. Then he went to, where did he go? He went to this how they call forest. And that time he saw a deer. Then after that he took the deer as a pet, and after that he became so attached to the deer. So when he died, he thought of the deer. Even a great person thought of the deer and he died. So after he died, Krishna never think, oh, you have done such a great piety, you've been such a great king, you just qualified to go to heaven. He didn't do that. He just put him in the deer body, but he gave him the remembrance. After he born as a deer, he remembered his past and he regretted. Oh my God, I was almost to go back to Godhead because I was attached to the deer and I suffered. So in the deer body, he could remember the past. So what happened? He went and lived near the monastery where all the sadhus were sitting there. Krishna never giving the body of any other animal. Imagine if you're a snake goat near the Disney, they'll kill you. If they see a tiger comes, they call the king and will kill you, hunt you. So he given the body of a deer, which is so dear. So he just go and stand near the ashram. And after that, he start to listen and practice meditation. That means outwardly he's in the deer body, but inside he was remembering Krishna. Then after that, he was born again into the family of a Brahmana. And that Brahmana, so he became the third son, all right, the youngest son. So when he went, and when he was born, he could remember his past. He regretted giving up that king body by thinking of the deer, and he went through the deer body. He said, this birth, I'm not going to waste my time. So he started to renounce from birth, right? And he became like so dull-headed. That's why he was called as Jada Bharat. Jada means Jadam. In Tamil, we call it Jadam. Jadam means useless. You are a dull-headed dumbbell, right? You're just like, don't know anything. So they called him Jada Bharat. So the father saw the son so dull-headed, he just named him Jada Bharat. Jadam. Then we said, since you're very able-bodied, very strong, he's very strong. You're useless, you're not worth for anything. You go and look after the farm. At night, you just go and sit there, make sure there's nobody come and steal our crops. Right? They say, oh, okay, Paul, okay, daddy. He just went there and sit down there as a Jadaba. So what happened? But internally, he is such an elevated devotee. He was so much in trance. He doesn't want to make any more mistake. So that time, the rogues, the thieves came. All right, they were looking for someone to sacrifice because they wanted to kill someone. The fleur, someone rather run away, or he got some defects. Right? So someone rather they say, oh, that fleur run away, go and get another one because we have to do the human sacrifice for Kali Amma, the Durga. We have to do that human Narabali. Okay, we have to give to the Durga. We need to get a man. So they were looking. Suddenly they saw this fleur. And he saw he's so perfect. He's so strong, able, all the fingers and all the legs, everything is perfect. Because when you want to slaughter for Kali, you must be perfect. They say, oh, you're perfect. Then they call, say, can you follow me? He said, where you want to take me? Right, just follow me. No, you tell me where you want to take me. Oh, I want to sacrifice you for Kali. Huh? You want to sacrifice me for Kali? The great devotee of Krishna? The Mahamaya? Oh, you want to? Very happy. Come, let's go. And all were looking. What happened to this fleur? I just told him I'm going to slaughter him for Kali. And he was so excited. Right? He was not following them. He walked in front and people are following him at the back. That's why you call him Jada Bharat. They say, oh, they're going to slaughter me for Kali. They were so excited. They just went there. He just went there and they bathed him. They prepared him and everything. He put his leg and says, come on. Why are you wasting your time? Slaughter me for Kali. Come on, cut my throat. Right? So when they were about to take the thing and they were about to cut suddenly the Bhadra Kali from that deity, the form of that deity form, she exploded out from that Kali form. And with so much of anger, she cut everybody's head. cut off everyone's head, cut off that all the thief and the rogues, they slaughtered them. And Jada Bharat saw, oh, Mahakali. He said, no. So Kali can't even tolerate when the devotee of the Lord is to be about to be killed. So what happened? So this is the example I'm giving you. So the possibilities here. We just need to pray to Krishna. Dear Krishna, whatever it is, please always keep me under your guidance. We give up this body, say we are not even perfected. Definitely we pray, right? We pray, we hope. But in my opinion, I think Krishna will definitely not going to send you to heaven. Why? You go there 10,000 years, wasted your time and come back and dive back into this material condition of life. That's it. You start to sit down, back to animal kingdom and go back to transmigration again and again and again and again. So what Krishna will do? After when you practice this bhakti, you have already start studying Bhagavad Gita, you start chanting Hare Krishna. In that, Krishna love will definitely Krishna loves us everything. I think this morning we also spoke about that. You know, Krishna, we have our eternal, intimate relationship with Krishna. So we have our intimate relationship with Krishna. It is not we are a random person. Krishna have an intimate relationship with each and every one of you. And Krishna wants you back. All right, that's one story. You know, when a person was liberated for some reason, okay, I can't recall the story, but because he chanted the name of Narayana, the Yamadutas want to catch him. Not Ajamila, that's another story, right? Some or other he was liberated. What is the story about the thief? Okay, anyway, I can't recall the story. Anyway, I just come to the point. So they took the soul back to Vaikuntha Loka. So once the devotee went back to Vaikuntha, right? Then you go to the Viraja river, he take a bath. After he take a bath, he come into that Swarupa Moksha. That means he start to have the bluish form, exactly like Lord Vishnu, Lord Narayana with 4 arms and so beautiful form and so much this thing. With all paraphernalia, he went to Vaikuntha. First thing, he went to meet Lord Narayana. So Lord Narayana was lying down and he just went to him. He said, oh my dear Lord, you know, I'm so happy. And Lord Narayana just looked at him with tears coming from his eyes. All right? The tears coming from his eyes. And he looked at him and asked, before, because imagine when you went back home, you know, you're so excited, go back, you know, you go to see your father after so long, you come back home. Where's father? Father is in the room. Okay, I just rushed to the room. Hey, Dad, I'm back. You know, like that. He want to see Narayana. And Narayana just looked at him with tears in his eyes. And he asked this question. What took you long? What took you long? You know, I tried to get that story because the story that I really touched my heart. All right, I think it's in Bhagavatam or something like that. Once I get the reference, I'll definitely share with every one of you. Krishna with Narayana with Lord Vishnu with the tears in his eyes and just asked him. When the devotee came to him, he said, oh my Lord, I'm back. No, he was not like so excited to see, but he just looked at him and said, what took you long? I've been anchoring for you. What took you long? Like that, the Lord is waiting for us. So definitely the Lord will not put you in heaven. Heaven is for useless people. Right? The people who still have so much of material desire, they do some piety, they do some good things, they go to heaven, enjoy with all the apsaras, all the Gandharvas, uncontrolled sex, uncontrolled alcohol, everything. And you'll wear a garland. I know you'll be always looking at 16, you always look at 16 years old, right? When the time will die in heaven, when the garland when all the flowers will drop and our garden become dry, and that's it, you'll be pulled back and you go to you live in that, what do you call, on the cloud, and from there the rain will fall and you go into the grain, and the man who eats the grain, and through the grain it goes into the semen, and the man impregnate the wife, and through that impregnancy he come back into the human form of life. It's mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, right? It's mentioned how the things happen, right? Anyway, so that once we come here, so definitely it's meant for materialistic people who still want to enjoy life. They still don't have that intelligence that I want to get up. But we have already thought about it. Even you thought about it or not, whether you think about it or not, but we have already got that information. Heaven is not exciting. The exciting part, the only liberation, the only freedom that we can get is when we give up this body and go back to eternity, Sanatan sky, the eternal sky. where we are not going to be born here again, and we're going to have our personal relationship, intimate relationship with the Lord. Right? So we got that information. So after you get that information, even if you've forgotten what, Krishna will never forget you. Krishna will never forget because you're already under the protection of Daivi Prakriti, the divine nature. You're no more under a random person because you have taken the hook. You have taken the hook. Krishna hooked you. That's it. He will never let you go. So we give up this body. We might not go to heaven, but Krishna will say, well, you have already practiced. Now I put you into the family of a great Brahmana, great devotee, or either in Golo, either in Vrindavan or Mayapur, or maybe in any of the American, whichever country, but you born into a very righteous Brahmana family because Krishna said that is very rare. Refer to chapter 6. Krishna said that is a very rare birth, but that rare birth is granted for a devotee. Even if you are just a rookie, you are just starting in life, you are granted that opportunity. Right? So, okay, Kesavan, have I answered you? So it doesn't
Yes,
matter
Prabhu.
how we live, but the most important, we are on the right path. Kesavan,
Yes, Prabhu. Understand.
thank you for the question. Right? So now let's look at the last verse, 24. Okay, so 24. All right, now what Krishna says here? Okay, Krishna says here, Tasmat Chastrang Pramanante Karya Vyavastito Nyatva Sastra Vido Noktam Karma Kartum Irhasi. So Tasmat means therefore, Sastram. Shastra means what? Of course, the scripture. Sastra, right? Pramanam. So Pramanam means what? Evidence. Okay, Pramanam means we call as evident, right? The proof. Then Karya. Karya means duty. Akarya means forbidden. Karya. So when you see there's a dash on top, that means there's a two word here. Karya, Akarya. You all follow me? Okay. When you see the word like this, so how are we going to pronounce? Okay. So I just for the dash, okay. Karya. Because there's a dash on top, of course, I don't know how to put the dash here. Karya. Then Akarya. Okay. All right. Now you understand? Okay. Oh, I put the dash on. Okay, I can draw the dash. Anyway, so this word here is what? Sorry. So the word here is, okay, we understand here. Karya and Akarya. So when we go, where's the thing? I wrote something, right? That's the word I wrote. Okay. All right. First is, can you see the word I'm typing? Anyone? Can you see the word I'm typing here? Karya and Akarya. Hare Krishna. Anyone?
Yes, you can see on top.
Okay. So now, when you look at this word here, okay, when we look at this word, we divide the word. So first is Karya. Then second is Akarya. Okay, so first is Karya and Akarya. We break the word. But now, when we combine these two words, when we combine these, so what we do? We just remove the A. There's two A here, right? So we just put here one A with the dash on top. Okay, we put one A with a dash on top. So when we combine the word, are you following me on this? Anyone? You all understand? If you understand, thumbs up. If you don't understand, please ask me a question. You all understand? Okay, great. So the 2A here is combined into this 1A we call A. So Karya, Akarya. So when you combine, when the 2A combine, we put A. So, okay. So like that. So now you see Karya, Akarya. So once we combine the word is Karya. So that means, what is the first word? So first word is Karya means duty. Akarya means forbidden duty, forbidden activity. Are you following me? You understand? Karya means duty. Akarya. So when you put A in front, it's against that duty, which is forbidden. Thumbs up if you understand. Great. All right. So karya, akarya. Then duty and the forbidden duty. Vyavastitao. So vyavastitao means determining. All right, determine. So karya, akarya with determination, determining. Nyatva. Nyatva means what? Nyatva means knowing. Knowing what? Sastra. Sastra means you understand the scripture. So vidana, vida, anuktam. So when we combine, first is the word vidana. Vidana means the regulation. Uktam. Uktam means declared. So what happened? A and O combined. So vidana and uktvam. Uktam. So there's a word O will appear. Anyway, I don't want to go into detail, confusing you. So vidana uktam. So vidonaktam. That means vidana means regulation. Uktam means declared. Okay. So karma. Karma you all understand, right? Work or activity. Kartum. Kartum means do. Iha. Iha harhasi. That means iha means in here, in this world. Arhasi means you should. So iha arhasi means in this world you should. Okay. Now let's look at the translation. So Krishna says here, therefore, one should therefore understand. He should understand what is duty and what is not duty. Karya, akarya. Now you got it? What is duty and what is not duty. How? Through the regulation of the scripture. Nyatva sastra without naktam. Through the regulation scripture. Not by some kind of mundane motivation or mundane psychologist or psychiatric psychologist book or this relationship guru, and not from them. From the sastra. So we should understand what is duty and not duty through the regulation of the scripture. Okay. And now after that, Krishna continues. Then knowing such rules and regulation. Jnatva sastra vidonaktam karma kartum. So knowing such rules, that means by understanding the rules and regulation, one should act so that he may gradually be elevated. So that means one knowing such, that means first knowing is very important. So now we are knowing the rules and regulation, we understand, right? Then slowly what we should do, one should act. Just by knowing, it's not enough. We have to act on it. But how are we going to act? He may gradually. That means gradually. That means we take step by step. We don't take a giant step. We don't take a leap. All right, step one. That's why I said, whether you have a habit of eating meat or consuming alcohol, cigarette, whatever bad habit you may have, it's okay. Because we are conditioned life. But of course, we know we have to give it up. If not, we're going to be evaporated by the atomic bomb of material nature. We're going to get evaporated. So what we should do? Very simple. Start with chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and reading the Bhagavad Gita. So once you chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, when you start reading Bhagavad Gita, without you realizing, Krishna will do his magic. Because Krishna is dancing in your tongue, and reading, Krishna is dancing in your mind. Just carry on with whatever life you're doing. Just go ahead. Right? That I know a person, he says, I can't stop eating pork. I say, it doesn't matter. And some says, Prabhu, sometimes, I love steak. I like to eat beef. And it's better. Right? That's your desire. You are eating beef. What you can do. Right? And there's one girl also told me that she needs to take vodka on a daily basis. No, every once a week they go for clubbing, they drink vodka. Then I say, very simple. You take vodka, you take beer, you just chant Om Sri Vishnu, Om Sri Vishnu, Om Sri Vishnu and drink. And she said, what? So what? When you chant, when you eat, you have to chew your food 16 times. When you're going to swallow your food without chewing 16 times, it's going to be very bad for your health. So chew 16 times. How you chew? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So you chew 16 times and you swallow. Doesn't matter whether you put pork inside or beef inside, doesn't matter. But you know what happened? People criticize me so severely on this. Because my brother-in-law was with me. He said, Prabhu, you are speculating. You are teaching the wrong thing. I said, no, I believe in Maha Mantra. I believe in what in Prabhupada speak about, even what they call Harinama Chintamani is mentioned. Whether knowing unknowingly, it purifies you. Why can't it purify? Prabhupada also say, once you get a higher taste, the mundane taste will go. And when you're going to get the higher taste? What opportunity you're going to get a higher taste? Do it here. And you know what? So the thing stuck in her mind. So whenever she takes water, she drinks Om Sri Vishnu, Om Sri Vishnu. She was just meditating. When I drink water, I must chant Om Sri Vishnu 3 times. So she was in that meditation. So that meditation eventually, when she go clubbing, she took the vodka, she took the beer. When about to put into the mouth, unknowingly she chant this mantra Om Sri Vishnu, Om Sri Vishnu, Om Sri Vishnu, and drink. Why did I chant that mantra, Because the thing stuck in her mind. Then after that, it's someone. So eventually, then she started, and of course, she chant Hare Krishna every day without fail, 16 to 20 rounds every day without fail. She does that. But of course, she said, I got a strong desire for eating pork, eating beef, and all, doesn't matter. So what happened? So when she started to drink, eventually, she said she started to lose taste. Why the taste looks so different? I don't like it. Then she started to eat pork. Oh, I don't like it. Started eating, beef. Oh, I don't like it. That eventually, you won't believe, my dear Prabhus and mothers, in just less than 6 months, all the bad habit has left her. She totally stopped drinking. She totally stopped taking all this kind of nonsense thing. And she chant Hare Krishna very distinct. And I suggested her to go. She was from Singapore. I said, you go to this particular temple. And she went to the temple. I got the contact. She make friends with that devotee. After she decided to become, and after 1 week being non-alcoholic and non-meat eating, and she chant every day, suddenly a Mataji called her and said, I want you to cook something for Jagannath. And she got a shock. I said, Mataji, how am I supposed to do it? I don't know. Lord Jagannath inspired me to tell you. But I just given up all this. I said, and she said, I don't know, Mataji. She's a Chinese bodied Mataji from Singapore. She's a Chinese lady. And that Mataji told this girl who is Indian, she said, no, I don't know. I'm inspired. Right? You cook for Jagannath. And she was so dumbfounded. And she was so scared. She said, no, I just give up all this kind of intoxication and all this meat eating and everything. Now, Lord Jagannath, do you ask me to cook? Then she cooked. She made some salad or some little dish, right? Not so big deal, not lavish. Some little maybe salad or some kind of thing. And that was the best cooking in her life. And they brought the food, they offered to Krishna, and everybody started to ask, who did this? Wonderful. And she felt Jagannath have accepted her cooking. And she was so ecstatic. She called. After she called me, she said, Hare Krishna Prabhu, I want to tell you something. Yes, Mataji, what do you want to tell me? And she was crying non-stop for at least 1 minute. I got a shock. I said, why are you crying? No. Oh, she was crying and crying and crying. Then after that, she just stopped and she said, Prabhu, I just gave up all these habits. Okay, good. So what happened to you? I went to the temple. The Chinese devotee told me to cook something for Jagannath. I said, really? Yes, I cooked something for the deity. But I am not qualified. I said, that you think? Maybe Jagannath wants you to cook. And today she's the first-class devotee practicing Krishna conscious in Singapore. She's a staff nurse. And through that, the family and the whole thing, she went back and she said, the whole family said, everybody should convert to vegetarianism and everything. So what I'm trying to tell you here is, things will work. Just have faith in Krishna in the holy name. Just by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, by reading that Bhagavad Gita on a daily basis, you do not need to force yourself to give up things. The things will just go by itself. That's why Krishna says here, first we must know the rules and regulations. We must know doing this is no good. Then slowly we should try to act on it. Act by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So that he may, again what Krishna says here, he may gradually be elevated. So the elevation is a gradual process. It doesn't happen. Today you start, tomorrow you're elevated. It doesn't work that way. Gradual, step by step, you will get elevated. Okay. So I hope I have this thing. Right. So now when you look at this, in the previous Yuga, in Satya Yuga, demons and demigods were in different planets. Right. They were in different planets. In Treta Yuga, demons and demigods were in different cities like Ravana and Rama. And in Dwapara Yuga, demons and demigods were in the same family, Kaurava and Pandava. But in Kali Yuga, okay, the demon and the demoniac qualities are in the same person. So in every person in Kali Yuga, they have the divine nature and also the demoniac nature. But now, as Kali Yuga start to progress, so we only see lot of demoniac nature in every human being. But once upon when we can trigger them, when we can encourage them by chanting the Hare Krishna distinct, the demonic nature will subside and the divine nature will start to prevail. Okay. So again, my dear devotees, please take this very, very committedly. All right. The RDC formula is a wonderful formula. All right. Read Bhagavad Gita daily. No matter what, don't fail not to read Bhagavad Gita. and distribute Bhagavad Gita, because you're installing Bhagavad Gita in someone's house, someone's life, and you chant Hare Krishna 16 rounds, you start to see a huge transformation. 16 rounds is only going to take you around 1.5 hours. And reading Bhagavad Gita, just take one verse and just meditate on that. All right? It's no rush. I'm trying to complete. No, we are not trying to complete Bhagavad Gita. We are just trying to nourish, relish. Right? Say, like, for instance, when you take a gulab jamun, you take a halwa, we don't take the whole thing and put it in the mouth, right? How we eat, we try to eat a little by little. Just take a small bite. Then you complete. Then you take another small bite. Wow, you relish. The same way you relish Bhagavad Gita. No rush. Take one verse, read. To relish what Krishna says. And of course, relish what Prabhupada trying to explain in this thing. So when you read Bhagavad Gita, make sure you read your introduction first. This 30 pages introduction. Don't worry, oh, such a long introduction. You will understand Gita better by doing that. Take the formula RDC. So with that, we end the session here. So now we open for questions. Is there any questions? Any comment? Any takeaway? Anything that you learned something new today? All good? Yes, Prabhu?
Yeah, thanks for this inspiring story in the end.
Which story, Prabhu?
The Mataji cook for...
Oh, the Mataji. Okay. And she became a fantastic book distributor, Prabhu. I think she distributed something, few hundred Bhagavad Gita and at least 20-30 sets of Srimad Bhagavatam. I told her in Singapore, you take the Bhagavad Gita and make sure you approach the Chinese. I said, Prabhu, I want to approach Indians. I said, no, go and approach the Chinese. Your duty is to talk to Chinese. So what she do? She always book a Grab. When she see Indian driver, she cancel it. When she Chinese driver, she get into the car, and while in the journey, she'll talk to them. And she made, I think, 1 or 2% became devotee that way. Right? So, because I'm under the Chinese preaching effort, so I'm very happy. She wanted to give up everything and want to come to Ipoh, become a full-time devotee. I said, no, don't rush. Stay there and perform your duty.
Amazing.
Yes. No, it's amazing. It's because of Bhagavad Gita. It's nothing is my effort. Okay, someone sent a message. Great sharing. All right. Thank you. So I hope that chapter 16 is fantastic. So we must understand. Again, as I said, we have to check and balance about our life. Right? We start at 10 o'clock, just 8 o'clock. Exactly 2 hours we are over. And just a short reminder, tomorrow is Ekadasi. Try to fast from everything. If you can't, just take water. If you can't do any of these, just be a fruitarian. Take fruits. Don't take acidic food like orange, lemon, all that don't take. Try to take like apple, papaya, and all this banana. If you can't do that, take some potatoes, right? Just by that. So try to practice Ekadasi. But the most important is not simply by fasting, by practicing austerity. That means tomorrow is the day you should chant more rounds. Okay, if you chant 2 rounds today, so tomorrow is the day that you should attempt to chant at least 5 rounds, right? So chant more, read Bhagavad Gita. Of course, the Bhagavad Gita, we create an opportunity because I'm still not well. I couldn't go to the temple, so I plan to do it online. So morning, we're going to do chapter 17. Chapter 17, we're going to have the discussion in the morning. Then in the evening, around 7:30 or something like that, we do chapter 18, the final chapter. All right. Don't miss that opportunity to study Bhagavad Gita tomorrow on Ekadasi day. Vaikuntha Ekadasi day is a very auspicious day. All right. They talk about Vaikuntha Vasal. The door of Vaikuntha will be open for tomorrow. So let's make this opportunity to study the Bhagavad Gita in the group. Right. So till then, if there's any questions, Bhagavad Gita. Any questions, any comment? All good? All right. There's no question. We end the session here. Panchakalpatarubhischa, Kripasindhubevacha, Paditanam, Pavinibhyo, Vaishnavibhyo Namanam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. See you again tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. And
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Gauranga.